Hey y'all, I'm going to invite y'all along for lunch today. I'm going to make some beans and some sourdough crackers. You know, I love beans. Unfortunately, Daniel doesn't. So when I make beans, I have to make beans for lunch because he's not here at lunchtime. So if you're following True Healthy Mama, it's the E meal. And so I just took some sourdough and I made some crackers, and I'll show you how I did that. And also how I make my beans because I do love beans. You know, years ago, my mama told me how to cook beans. She didn't teach me, she just told me how to do them. And you have to soak them overnight. And so I remember when I first got married, I soaked my beans. And one day I had went to work and I told my supervisor that I was going home and put some beans on for supper tomorrow night. She said, "Oh, you don't have to do that." And so she said, all you have to do is put your beans in your pot, put a little bit of water on, bring them to a boil, and then dump them out. Recover them with cold water and cook them. You know, a couple hours. You had to cook them a couple hours. And so I told my mama, and she said, well, when you pour the water out, you're pouring out the nutrients that come out in the beans. And so, well, I'm going to do that because that's the whole purpose of eating the beans, is getting the nutrients. So I learned what to do, and I'm going to show you what I do. Okay, so I'm going to start with just some red beans. I love red beans, but I like all kinds of beans. Black beans, pinto beans, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to put a little bit in my pot. I'm not even measuring. Because if this makes me a couple of servings, I'm good with that. So I just kind of, let's just see what I got in my pot. Not much. I just covered the bottom of them real good. Here's my beans in my pot. I just kind of covered the bottom, and I've just got some water here that I'm just gonna lightly, just barely cover them. Barely cover them. Might put just a little bit more. Okay. So then I'm gonna cut my eye on high, and I will bring that to a boil. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, they are at a good boil. And so all I'm going to do is add a good bit of water. And then I'm going to start adding some seasoning. I'm going to add some pepper. I'm going to add some salt. Try not to be too salty. I'm going to add just a tiny little bit of bacon grease. And then I'm going to add a little bit of better than bouillon. And I'm going to bring that to a boil. And I'm going to cook them till they're done. And then I will show you what they look like when they are finished. So I showed you in a short video that I had made was trying to make some sourdough starter. And it hasn't been doing. But look at this. It's beautiful today. I haven't smelled it yet, but it is beautiful. I'm trying to get it open so I can take a little smell. I'm not sure about the smell, but I do like the way it's bubbling. So I'm going to take out half of this. Well, let me back up for a minute. This is where I actually started out. I started feeding the sourdough here. I've been keeping this in the refrigerator, so that's why it looks like it does. It would bubble, but I never did get it rise good, and I fed it for about a week. And so finally I just decided, well, maybe it's good enough, and I'll stick it in the refrigerator. And so I took out, the other day, I took out a batch, and I put it in here, or I put it in another jar. And it just did not do anything after, sitting all day. So I decided that I'd go ahead and I moved it to this bowl, and I started feeding it. And it's looking quite lovely. I'm going to still feed it some more. I'm just going to take half of this and I'm going to try to make some sourdough crackers to go with my beans. But I probably am going to throw that there out and just use this since it seems to be doing, it looks good. It really does look good. Okay, so I'm going to take out about a cup of this. Yeah, about a cup. And I'm going to put that in another bowl. I was discarding the other, and I'll just be honest with you. Y'all know as well as I do, everything's so stinking expensive now. And flour is one of those things that is high. Now I use the unbleached. I'm gonna use some other flour with it today, but that's what it's looking like. I don't really smell a lot of sourness to it, but I'm not gonna let that go to waste. I'm gonna try something. So I'm gonna put a cup in. So this is 1/4 of a cup. I'm gonna put 3 of these all-purpose. And I bought some spelt flour the other day at the health food store. So if I can get it open, I'm gonna put 1/4 of a cup of the spelt flour in, because I'm using the all-purpose to feed it. So I wanted to start trying to incorporate some of the spelt or either the wheat flour in there with it. Right? I have 3/4 cup of water. I'm just gonna add to that. And I have one of these little handy things I just bought. I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not, but look at the color. Just with the spelt flour, it's got a brown tint to it. And I'm just gonna mix this. And I'm going to put my saran back over it. And then I'm just going to stick my towel back over it. And so there, whoops, I've got to have some room to put it in here. And then we're just going to put it over there and hide it for a little bit. Now, I've seen some do this, and I wanted to try it because I have thrown away so much flour, and this still has a good bubble about it, so that's why I'm happy with it. But I've seen so much waste, and I just don't want to waste it if I can help it. So I'm going to cut my oven on 350. Okay, I have some avocado oil, so that's what I'm going to use. And I've got a tablespoon, so I'm just going to put about 3 tablespoons to my cup of sourdough. And then I'm just going to stir this up really good. Probably, well, I'll see if I can do it with a spatula. If I can't, then I'll get a whisk. Yeah, I think I'm going to need the whisk. So I just have my whisk. And I'm going to whisk all this in and try to get all this oil blended into this sourdough, to my starter. Okay. So at this point, I've got a teaspoon here, and I'm going to add some garlic powder. I'm adding, I think I'm going to add just a teaspoon. Well, I may add 2 because I do like garlic. Maybe too much, but and then And I've got my salted salt. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of that, maybe a half a teaspoon of that. This is just experimental. We'll see what kind of flavors I like. And then I have some Italian seasoning. I'm going to put about a teaspoon and a half of Italian seasoning, because that is really strong. The Italian seasoning is really strong. So just stir this up. Sorry about that. I thought I was videotaping when I poured it out on the silicone with the cookie sheet, but somebody's trying to call me, unknown caller, and I'm not going to answer it. And they keep messing up my camera when they do that. So I'm going to spread this out on my mat as thin as I can get it. I'm telling you, it just smells so good. I want a thin cracker, thin as I can get them, because I do like thin crackers. I got some spots it's a little thicker than others, and I'm just trying to get it to thin out. I'll talk in a minute. And so there we go. Now I'm going to bake this on 350 for 10 minutes, and then I'll be back to show you what I'm going to do to it. I'm going to try to put this on the iPod and show you, but my iPod decided to break today. So anyway, I've let them bake for about 10 minutes, and I'm just going to take my pizza cutter, and I'm just going to score them a little bit. I may have to get closer up there with a knife, because this is not letting me get as close as I want. And I hope I can do this justice, y'all, because I am trying to do this and watch what's on the phone. It's aggravating. Alright, I'm going to grab a knife real quick and do this other one. And the only reason I'm having to do this is because, well, it's not doing too good with the, let me pull this out. And I had to pull it out with a knife, and I'm just going to try to get it back here. There we go. I don't want to cut my silicone out. I just want to cut my pizza and my bread. My bread, I mean. I just want to cut my bread. So I'm going to stick this back in the oven for about 20 minutes, and I'll check it. And at some point I may, I'll turn it over, maybe, if it gets harder. We'll see. Back, as you can tell, I think I let these here cook a little bit too long, but these are beautiful. Wow. And I don't think I'm going to be putting them back in the oven. I baked them for 20 minutes. I probably will do just 15 next time. Ooh, it's really hot. But I'm going to try even the dark ones, because who knows, it might be good with the soup, with the beans, I mean. So that is my sour cream crackers, even though I probably messed up on some of them. But next time I'll check them in 15 minutes. So my beans are done. I did have to add a little more salt to them. But oh, they look so good. So I can't wait to try my beans and my, I want a little more juice. Oops, and I made a mess. Y'all didn't see that, did you? We'll turn it around and pretend we didn't see it. So there is my beans. They're done. I did have to add a little more salt to them. And there's my sourdough crackers. And that's my lunch. And that would be an E with Trim Healthy Mama. And I'm going to taste it and let you know how it tastes. But I'm not going to do it on camera. Wow, that's really good, y'all. Italian seasoning. I'm gonna have to write that down so I can remember what I put in it. But it's Italian seasoning, garlic, salt, and avocado oil with sourdough, and it is so good. Yeah, that's that's a good thing to have. And as I try to switch over my sourdough, so I'm going to try to, you know, as my sourdough builds up, I'm going to try to switch it over to more a spelt or a white wheat flour, because I want to get it as close to Trim Healthy Mama as I can. But and they call for white flour in making the starter. But yeah, that was delicious, and so I'm going to go eat my lunch and enjoy it. So I hope you like beans as much as I do, and try the sourdough if you haven't. It is delicious. I just want to come back on here and let you know I did try the dark ones. They leave a little aftertaste, but they're really not that bad. So I guess if you ate them with the beans or soup or something, they would still be pretty good. Some of them's really dark, and I know I'm going to eat them, but some of the other ones, it's just a little dark. I probably will eat them. Y'all take care, and God bless.